All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 284, and we're recording fresh right before Sunday Night Football, right
Right
after
after the
a
Vikings game, yeah.
a close, squeaked out win. Will Reichard's face on that last drive, they panned over to him, did not show confidence. Not what I wanted to see out of my kicker.
Not
Last
ideal.
week
No,
of
I was
fantasy
telling
football.
I was telling you this. I was like, typically as a Vikings fan, you get like this pit in your stomach when you're going to kick a field goal. And like anytime you get that pit feeling, they miss. Like, and that happens typically every time they miss. You get like, or they're up to kick and they miss the kick right before that kick happens. You have this pit feeling. I only had that like two or three times this year. I didn't have that at all today, and he missed all three. So
Yeah, to
that
be
one
honest,
shows
I haven't
confidence
really
in
had
him,
that
but
this year
two,
with Dicker or the past couple years. Like, it's the first time in my life the Chargers have a kicker, and his name is Dicker, and he's pretty good.
but I mean, it's just especially for like the Vikings kicking woes. Like we, for me, I always kind of get like this sinking feeling when we're about to kick and we end up missing it. Is like just whatever for whatever reason. I've gotten that a couple times, but just not recently. So like I'm confident in Reichard, but clearly some's got to get figured out. Missing two field goals today is not really acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, from going to being a hero for delivering a hell of a kicking performance on what was it, 4 hours of sleep? I mean, hero.
Was that the
Did it on
London
like
game? That
three
was the
hours.
London game, I think.
Did
Yeah.
it on like 3 hours of sleep. I mean, hero. But to go from that, I had high hopes coming back from injury. He looked great until championship Sunday. What do you think? All right. You know what? I think it's all right though. Big game next week, assuming the Lions beat the Niners.
Either way, it doesn't matter. It
Oh,
doesn't matter.
oh,
They can
it doesn't matter.
lose and
Oh,
it's
that is
still
true.
yeah. It's still for the
Would
divisions.
they lose the one seed if they
Mm-mm.
lost? No. Okay.
No,
Okay.
for the one seed or the five seed. That's it. The
So
Eagles
are
are
you
locked
telling me
into
the
the two seed.
Lions? It may be in their best interest to bench like a Jameer Gibbs per se.
It might be in their best interest, but they're not going to do it.
Okay, but like if up,
It also might be in their best
they may
interest to
pull him
bench
quick.
a Laporta.
Well,
So
I don't know who the backup is. I feel like Laporta's
I
got to be out
do.
there for the blocking.
No, the
No,
backup's been decent.
um, I actually just picked up the backup today, just in case Sam Laporta like gets a scratch. Uh, Brock Wright.
Yeah,
Brock Wright. He has a total of 0 catches for 1 target the past 3 weeks. If we go
I
back
mean that
four
sounds about
weeks,
right.
toss on another target. But I think Sam Laporta will be needed for the whole. And the O
Grant,
line's
let
gonna
me let
play.
me let me ask
But
you this
but like a
question.
Jameer Gibbs,
Do you think Dan Campbell
if
would
Gibbs
give
goes
any of his
down,
players? No, do you think Dan Campbell will give any of his players rest? Do you think he's pulling any of them?
has
Grant?
it? Does he do that? I have no idea.
No, no,
He
he
would
does
be the
not do
one
that.
team where don't rest him.
No,
They
that's
would
what I'm
get
saying. Like he would
rusty.
not. Yeah,
They would get
he
rusty for him.
he legitimately will never put in a backup player. Why do you think Teddy Bridgewater just signed there? He signed there for the most cushiony job in the NFL because he's not going to ever
I
be
mean,
asked to
Teddy
do anything.
Bridgewater has probably had a great past like 4 weeks. Like he won
Oh,
a
fantastic.
state championship for the high school team he was coaching, and now he's just back in the league.
The high
I
school team
mean,
that he originally played on and then
oh, I
became
didn't
the
know
coach
these
of.
details. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Now that adds some
Yeah.
fire to it. Okay, so
Now, look,
Teddy's
I understand he couldn't sign with the Vikings. Like our
is he
quarterback room
still?
is
Wait, what number was he wearing the last time he was playing? It was
he was wearing like
gross.
19 or something.
No. It was like 50 or 90 something. It was
Oh, it
gross.
might have been
Gross.
55. It might have been
Yes,
55.
55. Yes. Okay. I hope he brings that back. Odds are
Yeah.
a lineman has claimed that, but I think
Mm,
the lineman
most
would
likely.
gladly give up the number
Trade.
if Teddy
Yeah,
Bridgewater wants it. They're like, yes, of course. The
absolutely. The
quarterback
quarterback
wants
wants
it
55.
100%.
Yes. I'll
I will
trade you. I'll
change.
take that lineman also be like, you're telling me I get number 5.
Oh no, they
Clean
don't want
single
that.
digit.
No,
No,
they
no,
don't
no,
want
no.
that.
Those
No lineman
it
wants
depends
that.
which it depends. Well, offensive lineman or defensive lineman. The defensive
Offensive
lineman,
lineman. No,
Oh
no,
no, offensive lineman, no. But defensive
55, that's an
lineman,
offensive lineman number.
no. 55 also outside linebacker number.
That's true. And if that's the case, I don't know if they'd give it up though.
If that's the case, you're telling me
But
I
the O
get to give you
lineman would.
5. They get number 5. The outside linebacker is giving up 55 for number 5 for sure.
True. But
Those
I
defensive
immediately thought of an
linemen,
offensive lineman scenario where they would gladly give it up.
I still don't know if an
No
offensive lineman is.
hesitation.
I think that they're the only group that's still actually required to wear like specific groups of
I
numbers.
think there's still some general ranges, but like
Yeah.
everyone's allowed to wear single digits now.
I don't know if an offensive lineman actually
Yeah, no,
is.
not
That might
that,
be the
but
one
like,
restriction, but yes.
but it's like there's still like general guidelines.
No, yeah, it's soft.
Like
Very
you
soft
can't see a
guidelines.
corner wear a number in the 70s.
Yeah, yeah. And there's soft. It's just soft guidelines.
But yeah, everyone's allowed to wear single digits. That's like
yeah.
pretty much.
But
I personally like I like the old school numbers. I like that.
I mean, I do too.
How
Yeah, I mean,
it was very restricted.
it's very
All the
clean
corners in the
and
20s.
professional.
Like the teens are fine for wide receivers, but I like my wide receivers wearing with an 8 in the front. I like my wide receivers with an 8 in the front. That's just how I like it. But
Well, I feel like the skill positions are a little bit different. But like,
yeah, I mean, I'm used to the running backs, like their 20s through 40s. Now I think they were always pretty loose guidelines on the running backs, but it was literally based on weight. Like if you were a speed back, starts with a 2. If you were middle ground, 3, and if you were a fat ass, 43. 44.
Well, what about Eddie Lacy?
42.
He was 20. He was 27.
Did he not switch? Well, shit. Well, that's why it looks so bad. That's why he got cut quick out of the league. It's like, whoa, 27. It makes you look even fatter. Like that needs to be on a quick guy. But if you're a fat guy wearing a 27, it's just off-putting. You know, it's like the uncanny valley. All right. Like that's what that is. Like if Eddie Lacy was wearing 42, he would have had at least another year in the league because it's like
he would have been able to be converted to fullback.
You're not expecting anything if he's wearing 42. If he's wearing 27 and like he gets loose in the secondary, you're expecting him to break it off. Then he gets hawked by like BJ Raji, and you're like, oh shit.
Hey, great shout there though.
Yeah,
great shout, great shout.
But I just thought of a fat lineman. I was gonna say Haloti Nada, but like he low-key ran like a 4.7. It's like, ooh.
And Dominican Sue. Linval.
Yes, Linval's perfect. And specifically him with the oxygen mask and the glasses on. Specifically that Linval Joseph running him down.
But okay,
we'll start off with the NFL. You know, it's fresh.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just watched it.
Let's
the worst NFL slate ever. I mean, maybe the most blowouts. Definitely this season. When was the last time we saw this many 40 burgers? Just 40.
Oh no, that was the Giants dropping 45 or whatever.
Oh
was
my God.
not in my.
No, Colts were like my number one fantasy defense, like on every single metric, and Drew Lock like averaged 2 pick sixes.
He turned into prime Tom Brady.
Yeah, and let me get a quick little box score watch, boys. Don't mind me. Neighbors was absolutely ridiculous, but did Tyrone Tracy do anything, or was it the Drew Lock?
He was okay. It was mostly Drew Lock.
It was okay. I mean, Tyrone Tracy had 59 yards on 20 carries. Drew Lock carried this team.
No, he threw 4 touchdowns and
bouncing the Colts. Playoff picture is looking pretty locked up. Chargers locked up the 6. Broncos, I have not technically locked up 7, but
no, they need to win. If they win next week, they lock. If they win next week, I have no idea who the
Broncos play next week.
Chiefs.
And they have nothing to play for, and they already announced their benching. Well, so
true, but Carson Wentz would be the one dude who would not give a shit.
But I can see Bo Nix having a nice time against backups.
True, that defense.
I would assume. I have no idea what the Chiefs' backup defense looks like.
Yeah, that I don't know. Offensively, I don't know.
Maybe not that big of a step back.
Outside of Carson, oh my God!
They should re-sign Kadarius Toney for the week. He'd be great for that backup
Yeah,
team.
I mean, but I'll be honest, like their wide receivers are already basically rotating. Like they're not gonna
Yeah,
pull
they've
them.
been
Maybe
wide.
DeAndre because he's old.
Yeah, he will sit and Hollywood will sit. If Hollywood got hurt in a meaningless game, that would be hilarious.
Yes,
But the Chiefs
Andy
can
might
go
kill
wide
somebody.
receiver by committee. They've shown that. We've been
Yeah,
over this. It doesn't matter who's playing.
running back wise, I guess that they would probably bench
Let Kareem
Pacheco
Hunt
and let
stay.
Kareem go, but there's probably not much of a difference between the
Kareem
two of
Hunt
them.
could probably still use the reps. I mean, dude's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
rusty.
Um,
Yeah, but
but
Chiefs,
I mean,
I've already accepted it. They're gonna win
yeah,
three straight. Mahomes gonna be the first ever to win three straight. I've accepted that.
I do well. It's going to be interesting though because if the Broncos somehow lose that game, Bengals play the Steelers. Colts are out. Dolphins, I believe, just won. Dolphins
I
still
believe
are.
Steelers. Oh no. If Steelers win, then they could jump the Ravens if Ravens lose.
Yeah, so they do have something to play for.
Oh
But I
yeah.
think it's between the Bengals, the Broncos, and the Dolphins for that last spot. Let's be honest, it's between the Bengals and the Broncos.
Yeah.
The
No,
Dolphins,
Dolphins are
absolutely not.
Uh-uh.
Absolutely not.
No.
But I want to go through the Viking situation real quick because I mean it is very fresh on my mind, Grant. Um, and I'm assuming, did you watch the whole game?
Who would be
Did
the
you
four?
watch
Yes. Who would be the four seed in the NFC? Just
Tampa,
curious.
or the Falcons,
Okay.
depending on tonight?
Okay.
So, I mean, I'll be honest.
Is 7 Washington or is that 6?
7 is Washington right now. 6
You may
is
rather
6 is Green
lose
Bay.
and face
6 is
Tampa
Green
round
Bay.
1 than Washington.
Well, I mean, I would much rather take a home game.
True, but
a home game versus a rookie quarterback in the playoffs. I mean, versus the guy who lost 28-3. I'm good. I can do that.
Wait. I forgot. You'd be the one, so you wouldn't be playing them. I thought.
Well, unless they somehow beat the 2 seed, which is Philadelphia, which is possible.
Well,
but
I don't.
We
like
are talking about Dan
games.
Quinn. We are talking about Dan Quinn here.
True.
I mean, I would be okay. I would be okay taking.
Very true.
Quinn.
Holy shit!
I'd be okay taking that.
Yeah, I think we've kind of let him off the hook, like playoff Dan Quinn and
no different. What's the saying? What's the saying? Different animal, same beast, or different beast, same animal.
Yeah, it's the Kanye Kobe Bryant commercial.
It's like, the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
Are you the same animal but a different beast? What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? It's just
yeah. It's Dan Quinn in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, he's gonna turn into Ryan Day. That's what Dan Quinn's gonna turn into.
But I mean, look. So first of all, I still don't think there's been a time set for the Lions Vikings game next week. So that's the first order of business. Second of all, I don't know what happens to the Vikings. I know it's the Packers, and it's happened both times.
Yeah, no, everything is flexed. There are no times set for next week,
which is so annoying. It's incredibly
very
annoying.
There's some spreads.
I know that this is gonna end up being probably the Sunday night game, most likely. But it's just with the Pack. I know it's the Packers, and it's happened both times to the Packers. The Vikings have came out to a big lead. Going into the second half, they start to lose it, and then they clean it up at the very end, right? And they end up winning. I don't know if it's just a Packers issue, if it's going to end up being a general issue, but if it's a general issue, we need to kind of figure that out because the performance of the defense in that second half was just completely lackluster, and for most of the third and fourth quarter, the offense just couldn't do anything, which is mildly concerning to me going into most likely
for
now
some reason Aaron Jones just did not play the fourth quarter.
He got hurt.
Oh, that was it.
He got hurt. He messed up his ankle and hamstring like early in the season, and then he got stepped on or something the second or third quarter. And I'm assuming they just
Cam Akers ended up making the game-winning catch and a touchdown.
I almost
that's
lost
the greatest
I thought he was
athletic achievement of Cam Akers' life. My goodness, I was impressed.
Coming back from a double ACL tear, though, might be it.
No, making that catch was way more impressive than that shit. Are you kidding me? To keep the number 1 seed intact, Everett. Holy shit!
Yeah,
way more impressive than his double.
I was already losing it when we let up 15 unanswered points. If we drop that, I don't know what would have happened. I really don't know how I would have responded to that.
I feel like you still would have won the game, but
I hope. But that's also how we lost to the Lions, is we didn't convert
true.
a game-winning drive to take the clock
This
out.
next one's in
It's in
Minnesota.
Detroit. It's in Detroit.
Oh, you know what? It's all right. I still think you're gonna win. I'm still picking the
I mean,
Vikings.
I hope. But here's the interesting thing that I wanted to talk about, Grant. The biggest thing, obviously, this entire year, people have been talking about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, whether or not he can stay, whether or not he should stay, go somewhere else, right? First of all, the franchise tag, Grant, is $40 million this season. I thought it was 30. It's 40. I believe the Vikings have like 80 or 90 million in salary cap for this next season. So you're going to be giving up about half if you decide to keep him or franchise tag him. Grant, here's where we get to the interesting tidbit. Next week is likely Aaron Rodgers' final game with the New York Jets. The Vikings just so happen to have their current quarterback go out, and who's going to end up wanting to get a massive deal they're probably not going to want to pay. And they have another quarterback who is returning from an ACL injury, might be in need of some time before coming back.
So you're still on board with Aaron Rodgers to Minnesota?
I'm just saying the way that it's currently set up, it is not out of the picture. That
okay.
Happens.
You know what? The more I think about it, I may need to sleep on this for like a week. But give me 7 nights of sleep. Come back to me in a week, and I might be fully.
However, I
might be fully on board because I think it would work. And I think he wants to walk.
My immediate answer,
yes,
is Kirk. Well, no, my immediate answer is first of all, Aaron Rodgers kind of a locker room cancer, so I don't know how that would work with KOC.
But I think Aaron Rodgers right now, how this past 2 years have gone, he wants to like go out on a high note. Like he wants people to remember him.
Yeah, he does try to be like the GM though, and he tries to get his guys on the team. And I might kill Kwesi if not actually, but I'd be really pissed if Kwesi is like, yeah, sure.
Don't put a threat
go and get
on
Alan
this
Lazard
video
for you.
My God.
No, that I don't need that evidence. No. I mean,
I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, we'll get Alan Lazard for you
just for the content.
Yeah, here's the other thing though. Kirk Cousins is about to get cut, Grant. He's about to be in the same situation as Russell Wilson. I think he's going to get cut. There's no reason to keep him on as a backup. They eat that. Kirk Cousins would be worth like like vet minimum to sign. What are the Vikings brought him back in a vet minimum deal for a year, Grant?
Yeah. And I think he would be the starter for about like 4 weeks. Then JJ.
No, probably until that's. I think either way, JJ McCarthy should be the starter next year, no matter what happens. Like that's what I personally think. I don't think the Vikings should invest that amount of money in Sam Darnold unless Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl. Then all right, I you know what? I don't care. I don't care. You want to pay him? Pay him. No matter what happens. I mean, I will always.
Yeah, I mean, if he wins the Super Bowl, you're definitely
my team.
Keep him.
Yeah, I'll trust my team no matter what they do. Like I have after this season, after seeing I remember on this podcast, I think I verbally stated, why the fuck did we just pay Sam Darnold $10 million? We could have had Gardner Minshew for less.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, that one did not age well, but or Joe Flacco or something like that. But after that, after the way that this season's played, I will not question the decision that they make, no matter what, when it comes to any of that stuff. They know way more about whatever, and I than I do, and I trust them to do whatever's right. But I just thought that was interesting. I just thought that was an interesting prospect for the future of the Vikings quarterback situation.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. NFC, I'm taking a conference look right now. Just playoff actually. Okay. Yeah, Washington's got the 7. I guess Packers and Washington still have something to play for week after.
Yeah, they both have something to play for because it's 6 and 7 spot.
Yeah, like the odds are that in the second round, if you're the 1 seed, you would play. Help me out here. What is the most likely opponent?
I mean,
if you were the 1 seed, the first round you play. Because there's reseeding, so like what?
Yeah, I'm doing the math. I'm doing the math right now.
The Lions.
Let's assume the 2, 3, and 4 all win, right? It would be the Bucks. But I'm assuming if the Lions play the Bucks, Lions will win.
Yeah, so you'd play
Yeah,
the 5.
yeah. Unless though, my thing is
Packers,
if
Rams. Packers, Rams. First,
that's it.
what
I
a
will be
game.
honest.
Holy
I'll be
shit.
honest.
What a game. But
Every game in the NFC playoffs this year is a absolute
great game.
heater.
Yeah, no. Every
AFC is a
team is competitive.
cakewalk.
Oh, yeah.
AFC is an it
Yeah.
is
I mean, you
a
got the
joke.
Chargers. You got, you got,
The Broncos are in there.
yeah.
Like, you think
Yeah.
Bo
No,
Nix is showing up in the
AFC.
playoffs?
He might. I'm a believer.
You got the
So,
Steelers who have looked like doo doo for the last couple of weeks.
yeah.
Like, I mean,
Top heavy.
Lamar's top heavy. But the NFC,
I
everybody.
bet the
You have three
AFC
teams.
Championship game will be better than the NFC Championship game.
You do. You
Yep.
think that?
Yep. Bills
Really?
Chiefs or Ravens Chiefs. I bet that will be a better game because the Chiefs.
We
It's going to be a
possibly
last 2-minute drive game winner.
Can we
And
get
the odds of an NFC blowout, Vikings, Lions, Eagles, any of those teams involved, I could see a blowout happening.
I don't want to put that in the air after 2017.
I'm throwing that out in the realm.
I
think
hate,
the AFC
I
Championship game will be better than the NFC Championship game.
You know what, Grant? I hope if there is a blowout, I'm knocking on wood right now. If there's a blowout, I hope it's Vikings are the 1 seed, Eagles are the 2 seed. They play each other in Minneapolis, and the Vikings do exactly what the Eagles did to them in 2017. The Vikings absolutely scorched the living shit out of the Eagles in the NFC Championship game to go to the playoffs or to go to the Super Bowl. If there's a blowout, I hope that's the one.
I could just see NFC getting. I could see it. I'm just.
But here's the thing, though.
Throwing that out.
The NFC teams,
and it's unfair because the Chiefs. It's going to be a good game.
I mean, I think you're a little bit biased on it. Like we just said, the NFC.
Well,
teams
I mean, it happens every year. AFC Championship games, excellent every year.
Yeah, but that's not saying the NFC is going to be an absolute torch.
No. I think
you just put that out in the air that's going to be the case.
I just tossed that out. No, I just tossed that out. What my firm take is the AFC Championship game will be better than the NFC Championship game. Firm take. Out in the ether take, NFC Championship game is going to be a blowout. That's out in the ether.
I also am just saying, like, if you're going to say that all the teams in the NFC from top to bottom are a better situation, I just doubt that it's going to happen.
Well, in the NFC, better. No. AFC is a better situation. They got the Chargers.
The NFC teams.
Steelers.
We just said the NFC teams, top to bottom, are all better teams for competition. Yes. So it's less likely that there would be a blowout since all of the teams are just good teams.
Well, I could just see like we expect great games. Not.
I mean, okay. If the Bucks go to the NFC Championship game. Okay, yeah, no, yes,
that game's not going to be good.
no,
whoever's that would
have. But if you have like,
I could see Eagles, Commanders.
Vikings.
I could. Now, I wouldn't go on that one. But
I legitimately think outside. I think if the Commanders were in the NFC Championship or the Bucks were in the NFC Championship, they most likely would be the teams that would get.
Yeah, but I'm not even
outside of that. I'm
not even thinking about that. I do think though. Well, also here, this may be slightly baked into my mind that I didn't quite think of. Because the AFC is so easy, we're kind of more guaranteed to have a great AFC
a better game. Yeah, that's fair.
NFC
is there a possibility that is the reseeding? Would the reseeding allow for a potential Bills Ravens AFC Championship, or has it the way that it works out? It has to be Chiefs or Bills.
I think technically it could if like Chargers. Well, no.
I'm like, I don't know if the Bills would automatically
for Bills
have to play
Ravens to be the AFC Championship game.
Or the Ravens play the Bills already before then. That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, like I don't think. Yeah.
You don't know. I was just because I'm like, if I know the running thing is
but that's gonna
Chiefs
be a game.
Like
Baltimore. Oh my
god.
Ravens at Buffalo.
I know the running thing is okay. Chiefs, they're still doing. They're the number one team in the AFC with basically duct tape of a roster. So like the running thing, especially with you being in the division,
their defense is crazy though. But yeah,
they're going to win again this year. I'm just going to be interested when it comes to playoffs and you play the big boy teams. Because remember, the Bills did beat them this year.
Oh my God, Michael Penix just threw one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my life.
I'm a second late. Hold on, let me just watch this. You get my live reaction to it. Hold on. That's like the Kirk Cousins throw. That's like the Kirk Cousins throw when he threw it 30 yards downfield, just straight to the only Packers corner that was there.
Yeah, that wasn't great, Mike.
Not a pretty showing right there.
Mm.
But I mean, yeah, we're set up for a great playoffs either way. And the pinnacle, the cherry on top of this season will end up being the Lions Vikings game this next week, for at least for me. Of the regular season, I should say. Cherry on top of the season would be winning the Super Bowl. But it's going to be like, I don't know how that game is going to go. This is like the one time where I have zero intuition. I have no idea.
I think Vikings are gonna win.
You know what? I appreciate that.
I think so.
I appreciate that. But if you had told me at the start of the season that the Vikings were going to go 14-3 or 15, I think if you told a Lions fan that at the end of the season they would be battling for winning the division with a 14-2 record, you might give them a heart attack.
Yeah, no, I don't think
And
either team thought they'd be in this situation. No,
I will say this though. I think that this game next week, Grant, this
is
game
for all the marbles, the one seed, literally.
I mean, it is. But my vendetta versus Lions fans
Do you think you're
has
gonna blow
been
out the
slowly
Lions?
boiling. No. My vendetta,
Oh.
my personal vendetta with the Lions fans has been boiling. I think this next week will either it will topple over, or I think we'll finally be over. But there's a decent chance that this game sparks a new rivalry. It starts to take over Packers Vikings and it's Lions Vikings, and it's because of the competitiveness going into the playoffs kind of ordeal. And it's been kind of simmering in Vikings and Lions fan bases for a couple of years now. But like this could be it. This game could be the start of a new like full on true like hardcore rivalry.
Yeah. You're hyping this game up a lot. I hope it lives up to the hype. It'd be a
I
damn
mean,
shame if it was a blowout. It would be a
I hope
damn
it's a blowout and
shame
the
if it was
Vikings
a
blow out the
blowout.
Lions.
It would
But
be a
I
damn
mean,
shame, all I'm saying. But hyped up on your end.
well, no, I said hey, to be fair, the
Chargers
only thing I
Raiders
said
next week. We have a chance to set back that franchise 10 years. If we
well,
let
no,
the
you want
Raiders,
them to win. Yeah, you
which
got to
we
let them win.
should, they could go from pick 1 to pick 10 in the span of 3 weeks, Everett. That will
I
be
will say
Super
if
Bowl. So,
AP sounds like the kind of guy that's kind of like
well,
Lovey
they're
Smith,
definitely going to go hard.
where he goes out with two middle fingers to the
AOC's remembers
franchise.
last year. He's going to put up
No, I
50.
know, but I'm also saying like Lovey Smith at the end of that season with the Texans gave basically double birds to the Texans franchise by winning that game. Obviously, they got him CJ, but they originally wanted Bryce, and he won that game just in spite of the franchise, basically. And AP, I feel like, is kind of that same way. He's not going to give a single shit. He's going to try and win that game, no matter who's playing, no matter who's starting on the Chargers.
Well, yeah, because he's also coaching for his job. Like,
No,
he's obviously not
going
going to. He's obviously getting fired, but for like next year, what's he going to be? Position coach? Because that's what it's likely going to be.
He's going to have the second greatest job of all time, being a fired NFL head coach.
Well, I'm not sure how big his buyout is.
I don't know.
It's only for good. That's only for coaches with excellent agents. that not every coach gets that qualifier of it's great to be fired. For some, that's the last time you'll ever be head coach in your life, and it sucks. Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, you know what? This is why we try and scout the coaches before we hire them, i.e., like Thomas Brown getting promoted 3 times in the span of a
like
month
when
to become the Bears head coach.
Getting bought out, it's nice. If Lincoln were to get bought out at USC, it's nice. He's gonna be.
But just remember, in the span of
yikes, you might be special teams coordinator of Bethune Cookman, dude.
In the span of a year, AP went from ASU like position coach or whatever, I think he was DC or something, to the DC of the Raiders to head coach of the Raiders. I think he was DC of the Raiders. But either way, he went from college to NFL head coach without the credentials in the span of a year, basically, which is never a great sign. It would be ironic though if they fire AP and the first guy they look at is Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah, that would be funny. Uh,
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you're laughing, but okay. Um, I mean, is there anything specifically in the NFL you want to look at? Like,
nope.
obviously,
I'd say
all right. Well, that
yeah,
answers
no,
that.
this was the most boring slate ever. Holy shit. Other than Packers Vikings, I'm just going through the slate right now. Okay. Let me just quickly recap. Okay. This was Christmas. Chiefs beat the Steelers 29-10. Who cares? Ravens beat the Texans 31-2. The Texans' only points came on a safety. All right. Name something more pathetic than that for Christmas. All right. Everyone in Houston cried for Christmas. Thanks, CJ. Thursday, the worst football game of all time. Seahawks 6, Bears 3. Okay. Holy
Vikings Raiders last year. Vikings 3, Raiders 0.
Oh, true. That is worse. Saturday, Chargers 40, Patriots 7. Broncos Bengals was a bang. Broncos Bengals.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Cardinals Rams 13-9. Gross. Snooze fest. And then today, 40 burger Bills Jets. Raiders Saints snooze fest 25-10. Giants Colts. Interesting.
Hey. Interesting game. Not
Eagles
great
shit
to
pumped
watch,
the Cowboys, and the most literally the most entertaining thing about that game was Big Dom going back in the stands to beat the football for shit. Who's
McKee, Tanner McKee.
Tanner McKee. That was the coolest part of the game. Watching Big Dom retrieve the football. Bucks 48 piece the Panthers. Jaguars Titans. No one cares. No one cares. Dolphins, Browns, 20-3. No one cares. And then Vikings, Packers. Great game. But, yeah. I mean, got close at the end, but
the Vikings find a way. But the one thing I also want to add, Grant, Giants fans and the owner Mara, they have to be like vomiting, just sick to their stomach that Saquon Barkley could break Eric Dickerson's rushing record versus them next
week. And I would assume they're aware of it. If it were like a Jets player, there's no way Woody Johnson would be aware of it. Also, I found out Woody Johnson's kids are Brick Johnson.
Oh yeah,
and it's Brick, and the other one's like another great first name to have. With Johnson last name is just like it makes you think Woody Johnson. It runs
in the family. Runs in the family. Traditions.
Yeah, his name might be like Buster Johnson or something like that. It's hilarious. It's not that, but it might be. Oh, it's Jack Johnson.
I mean, that's more of a common name, but yeah,
but when your brother is holy shit, Brick, and then your dad's Woody. I mean, Jack Johnson's hilarious. Like that's straight out of a skit. But worst week of NFL in a while. Holy shit, awful.
Yeah, this game tonight's not doing too much.
May have had a point calling the entire NFL out on Christmas Day, saying NBA's Christmas is NBA's day.
NBA's day. Yeah, I said that in the last episode. To be fair, but I mean, I'm just. I can't get.
We're moving on.
I can't get over this. I can't get over Saquon's situation right now. Like that is just great. But okay. College football playoffs, Grant.
Yeah, we're gonna go in order of the games, except for Rose Bowl. That'll be last. But start off with the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Penn State, Boise State. Ever, I believe last week you said you guarantee either Arizona State, SMU, or Boise State's gonna get a win here.
I never guaranteed anything. I just said I could see it happening.
I believe you said I guarantee, but
I did
that's all
not
right.
say I
We can
guarantee. I said
after
I
the first
believe I see
round.
it happen.
I can definitely be on your sides, wanting to get the hell out of that one because
No,
it's gonna be a
hey, you
whooping.
know what? We'll go
It's
back
gonna
through the
be
tape.
a whooping, right?
We'll
Oh
go
my
back
god.
through the tape. We'll go back through the tape and we'll find where I said specifically, I can see it happening. I think I specifically was arguing it related to Penn State, which I will walk back on that one. But
Yeah, Drew Aller
yeah.
sucked, and they still beat him by 28. So holy shit, Everett.
I
Hey,
do.
this is the
You know what?
craziest thing. Genty could go for 200, and they still lose by 21.
True. I do.
Mind
I do
blowing.
think though that it being at a more of a neutral site, not in like freezing butt fuck cold weather, would be
I
great.
actually think this is great for Penn State. The last time Penn
Really, you
State
think
played
it's better?
indoors against Oregon, they lit Oregon up
Oh, that is true.
indoors. Best
That is
time
true.
Drew
That is
Aller
very true.
passed all season. Now he gets to play indoors again instead of shitty Penn State weather. Oh God! Now Boise has to defend a pass offense. Yikes!
Yeah. Can we
Yikes!
also talk about the fact that Carson Beck declared for the NFL draft?
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. He technically had a year of eligibility. I don't know how he was a
Mm-hmm.
redshirt
He
senior.
declared for the
Uh,
COVID year.
oh
COVID year.
shit, those still
Yeah,
exist.
forget about it. They
True,
still exist. Yeah.
they're still out
Um,
there. I
but he's
cannot
declaring
wait.
for
I'm
the
gonna wait for March Madness. But when I do my "How are you still in college basketball team," Everett,
Is Baycott still
half
around?
the guys on the last year's list are still playing Everett. So
What
it's
about
gonna be a
2 years
lot of
ago?
recycles. Uh, we're going legitimate old like 8 years. I think we got a couple nines.
Is Baycott still playing?
I believe so.
Oh, this will be his third consecutive year making the list.
Nope, he's on the Grizzlies.
Oh, never mind. But yeah, never forget when he commented on the post. But
Well, last
just
year,
Cars
legend Parker Fox, the first player on the list, commented, "Former
commented.
Minnesota Golden Gopher Everett. You should
Oh,
know
that's
your
right. Yeah,
players. You should know your
I didn't go
players."
to the U. I didn't go to the U.
Still, that representing the
I
state,
didn't
the
go to the
great
U.
state of Minnesota. Okay, Parker
Yeah, I'm
Fox
originally from
putting on
California.
for the well, Viking. Don't say you don't rep Minnesota now. Now
I rep the
Fox has
Vikings,
dropped
but
into your lap.
that's
Okay, Parker
that's
Fox
my
is your guy.
responsibility.
Don't
That's my
don't ever
responsibility now.
disrespect Parker Fox. Okay, he also commented on the TikTok, and I I actually don't know his official age. He did not reply.
Oh, it's
His
that
official
bad.
age. He's the only player on the list I didn't know the age. But
It's the I am 12 ticket from I don't remember
I think
whatever
he's
that
an eighth
movie is.
year now.
Well, yeah, Miami just had a tight end retire who's in his ninth
Ninth.
season.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was looking up that guy when he started playing college football.
Rashawn Gary was in his class.
So, oh yeah, no. The shit is hilarious. Like JT Barrett was the quarterback of Ohio State. Like, think about that. Just Baker Mayfield was at Oklahoma when this happened. Nick Bosa was at Ohio State.
That's the craziest part of Baker Mayfield being at Oklahoma. Baker Mayfield's on his fourth NFL team.
Saquon Barkley had not like played a football game yet for Penn State.
That's actually crazier. That's the crazier. Yeah. That's a crazier fact.
Yeah,
I feel like Saquon's been in the league forever.
Yep. He has.
Yeah. He's almost 30.
No,
almost. He's like 27.
Well, almost 30 is like 29. Almost
true,
30 is implying 29.
For a running back,
Saquon's
27
not
is basically
a
almost
running back. Saquon is Saquon Barkley. Okay.
Hey, you
Saquon
know what?
Barkley gets that title, and Derrick Henry gets that title. McCaffrey would, but he doesn't have Achilles, so doesn't qualify in that.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say it's funny. Carson Beck's declaring for the NFL draft in a season where he went from the almost consensus best quarterback going into one of the worst quarterbacks that could be in the draft, and then he tore his UCL. I think he tore it. I'm not entirely sure, but he had UCL surgery, so not a great look if you're a quarterback. But yeah, I mean, anyways, we can go top down on these games
Yeah, so
and do the
Fiesta Bowl is going to
analysis,
be a
whatever you want to do.
splatter, awful game. Oh my god. Texas Arizona State. Holy shit.
You don't think
Say a
Scatterboo can?
prayer. I think well once again Scatterbo could run for 150 and they still lose by 28.
It is interesting
So
though
I
that two
don't
of these
care what he
teams,
does.
are basically
They
through
can't
a running
scare
back.
them
Like,
passing.
yeah,
So neither
yeah,
team
that's the
can.
problem.
And hey,
Yeah,
Genty could still run for 200 and they lose by 30. So
yeah.
yeah, those games are
At
going to be
that point,
awful.
even yeah, yeah.
They're going to be
What
awful football games.
Penn State is
11 and
New
a
Year's
half
Eve,
point
right?
favorite. Take that and run with it. Take that
New
and
Year's Eve
run with
though,
it,
correct?
folks. Yes.
Great way to ring in the new year.
And then the first football game of the year is Texas Arizona State. Gouge gouge your eyes out. Hide the kids. Turn the TV off. No, you're gonna make people go blind watching that shit. No. Yeah, but that's gonna be awful. Okay, Notre Dame, Georgia. This one, this one I think is gonna be tight.
I have Notre
Under's the
Dame
pick.
winning this game.
Under's the pick of the year. That is the pick of the century. The under. This is the one thing I'd say. Georgia, they struggle against running quarterbacks, but it's not necessarily the quarterbacks that run, but it's the dual threat quarterbacks like Milrow, who was slinging that to
Haynes
Ryan
King.
Williams. Haynes King was also
Haynes
presenting a passing threat to Georgia. Riley Leonard cannot throw a football, which is a ball which is a foot long. It's shaped in like this weird, like kind of oval shape kind
like
of
it's
thing.
about
He cannot throw that thing, so that's a problem. But despite that, I still think Notre Dame can win the game, even though Riley Leonard can't throw a forward pass. The thing about Gunnar Stockton is I'm not like that confident that he's. I don't think he's going to perform better than Riley Leonard per se. I would rather have Riley Leonard than Gunnar Stockton, but like I
I
think
do.
he's enough for like this though. This is like very tight. Like I don't feel great about Georgia. I'd still lean them just because like at the end of the day they do got more dogs, but I'm not. I don't feel great about that.
I mean, look, I think if Georgia wins this, I would give Notre Dame a better chance of beating Penn State in the next round than I would Georgia. So, you don't agree with that?
No. If Penn State played Notre Dame in the next round, I could see that being like another 50-50. But if Georgia played Penn State the next round, Georgia would roll. James Franklin would roll over and die against Kirby Smart.
You know what? I was thinking
and die
talent
against Kirby Smart.
I was just thinking general performance. I was not thinking of the coaching situations.
Franklin, Marcus Freeman, toss up.
I probably should have taken my own advice from my previous argument saying James Franklin is horrible versus ranked opponents. Yeah, no, I might want to take that a step back.
No, that's still true.
And reevaluate.
That's still true.
It's still true.
I agree.
I might want to reevaluate that.
Very much with you on that. Oh yeah, I do not trust James Franklin against a better opponent. When he has to play a better opponent, no, he can't do it.
I do
the same thing with Ryan Day. He can't do it against much better.
I'm just generally speaking concerned for Georgia's offense in this game.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue.
That Georgia's weaknesses are in the secondary. They're not going to be tested in the air. So Georgia can play to their strengths on defense.
True. But
like Georgia's secondary sucks, but they get to cover Notre Dame wide receivers, and they're going to look like first round picks.
True, but even though that's the case, offensively speaking, they don't have any weapons, and their one quarterback who was mid to begin with is out. Gunnar Stockton has no starting experience. It's the biggest game of his career.
I know. Still massive coaching mismatch in favor of Georgia.
No, true.
Like all
one
the
of these
outside
teams lost
factors
to NIU,
are favored.
Grant.
Yes, yeah. Like all the
But
outside factors are helping Georgia, and because of all those extra little details tossed in, I'm just gonna go with that. I don't feel great about it though. No,
even though
there's a reason
Riley
it's only
Leonard,
a one and a
even
half
though
point
Riley
spread.
Leonard is not throwing the ball as well as
He can't.
isn't
He
Jalen,
can't.
he
He
can't throw,
cannot
right?
throw a football.
But the way that Haynes King gave
Notre
Georgia
Dame's a
so many
hundred.
fits,
Haynes King's a better passer, right?
I know, but he still just like the pure aspect. The reason why he gave him so many issues for the most part was the running side of it, because a lot of those runs were more designed than they
he
were for
provide. No,
passing.
no, I know, but like he provides a threat in the
No,
air,
I know.
so
So
you
you can't
can't
just stack
stack.
the box, whatever. Yeah, no, I get it. I do also just think though
They're
this
gonna
last game, I
stack that
know.
shit against Notre Dame. They may have no DBs back there, and Riley Leonard will still pull that shit and run because he's like, I'm
Yeah,
throwing. What?
I
No,
mean,
that's on the game plan. Run, run, run. There's no
I
passing
just
in the
think
Notre Dame offense.
I know it was Indiana, but still, like the demonstration Notre Dame put on for me, like in that game,
Oh,
gives me more
cannot
faith in them
compare.
going into this.
No, no, we can't. We cannot.
Riley Leonard's
No, no, we
play
cannot compare
specifically is what
Indiana with Georgia at all.
but I'm
No.
just saying that the biggest question marks for that for his all the offense was Riley Leonard, and I think Riley Leonard did a pretty good job showing that he can at least perform somewhat okay.
Well, let me relook at that game. I'm looking at it. Well, just this year, Notre Dame's 101st in passing offense this
Yeah,
season.
no, they're
Holy
not a
shit.
pass first. There's no, yeah, no, not a pass first offense. But at the same time, um, I think that there's consistency still in their offense, and Georgia's weakness is what they are strong in. I know there's differences when it comes to passing threats. You could stack the box,
Wait, Georgia's weakness
but
is what Notre Dame's strong in?
running with the quarterback and
Well,
just
well, well. Georgia's weakness is the secondary. Like they
no, I know,
struggle
but I'm
with
just
the
saying
dual threat
the
quarterbacks
entire
because they
defense as a
throw for 300 and also run for 100 on scrambles.
I'm more so saying Notre Dame has played
It's
this
on
way the
pass
entire
plays that they do the damage on Georgia's defense.
Notre Dame has played this way the entire season, so teams have
True,
most
true.
likely gone against the same defenses that Georgia's going to present with
I,
this
I
game.
I do think though that like Georgia's the one weakness on that defense, the secondary, and they don't need to worry about that in this game.
I don't
Michael
know. We'll see.
Williams, you're gonna learn about Michael Williams, Everett. You're gonna learn about Michael Williams in this one.
Trust me, I'm aware of Michael Williams already.
Michael Williams
But
gonna eat these Notre Dame linemen. Gonna eat them.
hey, maybe he'll bring his draft stock up from a late first to a mid early first. I don't know, but
Michael's he's gonna impress. I think Michael's gonna go top 10
really,
just because it's such a weak class. And he's like the ups. He's like Trayvon Walker a couple years Georgia. You're not
oh, you
expecting
think
year
his stock's
one.
gonna go up
Well, yeah, but you're
over
not
time? Yeah,
expecting year one to put up 18 sacks. But like in 3 or 4 years from now, he could become a freak. That's what they're drafting. The upside. It's like literally
okay.
Trayvon Walker.
All right, so going with Georgia. You're going
I
with
don't
Georgia.
feel great about that though.
I'm gonna go with Notre Dame.
There's so much uncertainty with Gunnar Stockton. Shit.
That's the thing I can't get over is Gunnar Stockton. I don't.
True. Yeah.
I just don't have that kind of faith in a quarterback that is its first start. It's in a like if he had been around for a while, even if it was his first start, I'd have a little bit more comfortability with him because he would have been in those environments, especially with Georgia. Then he's coming in. He's kind of been, working.
I think
through...
the rest of the Georgia team's gonna be
no, they're gonna.
They're gonna
I mean,
step
look,
up now with
they will, but even then,
Michael's gonna eat these linemen.
We did see it. We did see it with the Texans, though. If your quarterback sucks, doesn't matter. Team's gonna suck. So
with the Texans,
with the Texans this
Houston
week specifically.
Texans?
Yeah, CJ sucked. Team was doing good outside of CJ. CJ sucked. Team sucked. So
that's a different situation. It's the Baltimore Ravens.
Still my point, though.
Baltimore Ravens, not Notre Dame Fighting Irish on the other hand. Big difference.
Notre Dame's better. I know. Notre Dame much better.
Ooh, yikes. This is how we lose subscribers. So I'm going to cut that last 10 seconds out. But
really? Yeah, okay.
That's a preview for Notre Dame, Georgia. Okay. Rose Bowl, Ohio State, Oregon. If Denzel Burke and
So real
Davison
quick, what
Igbinosun don't wait. If Denzel Burke and Davison Igbinosun do not turn their head, and I'm watching that live, I'm going to make an impact. I'm going to scream at them. I'm going to turn your head. Holy shit. Turn your head. Dylan Gabriel throws ducks. Oregon duck fitting. Turn your head. It's going to be pickable. I don't know what the hell.
Is that really?
I don't understand. There's one corner on the team taught to turn his head, Jermaine Matthews, and he started last week. Hopefully he starts. No one else is taught to turn their head, and it has to be a coaching thing. Because why would one player? Why is one player doing it? Like, it works, and he got to play last week. So, like, unless he's being coached to not turn, and he just starts turning on his own because he knows that's what to do, he gets rewarded for that. No. I literally think they teach one of them to turn and not the others. I don't know why. I thought, according to Jalen Ramsey, this DB coach was good. I think Tim Walton sucks ass. So until I see shit, you're not getting any credit out of me, OG Walt. No, you suck ass. Teach them to turn. Holy shit. Or put literally tape Davison Ignosin's hands up like clubs because he holds every single play. Tape them so we cannot hold. Solutions.
Okay, I'm waiting until you're done with it. That was like the 9th time I was trying to say so. Is that why Denzel Burke has just been asked this year? Is mainly because he's been holding?
No. His whole life, he's always in like the greatest position. Like he's always blanketed on the guy, always on their hip. But when the ball's in the air, he has no idea what to do. No idea what to do. And I think it's because he's always blanketed on dudes. He just doesn't get targeted a lot. Like post Oregon or post Nebraska before this week, I think he's been targeted like twice the past like 4 weeks. He doesn't get targeted. He's always on the guy. But if you're looking at from the other side, he like doesn't get tested in the air. So when he does get thrown at, he literally has no idea what the hell he's doing. And it's
that's also here's also the thing.
He gets lost or PI.
So first of all, obviously I know you're going to take Ohio State in this game. We've talked about the game. No matter what, you're going to take Ohio State because you're an Ohio State fan, even though Oregon.
Yeah, till the wheels fall off. Till the wheels fall off. I'm picking Ohio State.
The conductor's already gone. Ryan Day is gone. The train's going without a captain, really. But
true.
The wheels are not off yet.
Determine how much steam is in that engine. All right,
the wheel is not off.
We don't know.
I will say this though. We were just talking about Georgia having issues with quarterbacks that are multiple threats. I know Dylan Gabriel throws ducks, but if you had a Oregon Georgia matchup, Oregon is for sure winning that game on that basis. Because that's what Dylan Gabriel
quarterback
does.
Oh yeah.
For sure. But
Dylan Gabriel is, I mean,
look,
shit. Probably the best quarterback left in
Arch Manning, but yeah.
But Dylan Gabriel is the best quarterback left in the playoff, yeah.
Starter, yeah.
I'd still rather have Dylan Gabriel than Arch this year.
I mean, he was a Heisman finalist. Like, let's be honest, yeah. But college-wise,
Arch is better than Quinn, but I'd still have Dylan Gabriel.
College-wise, for sure, yes.
Well, I'm just talking right now in the playoff.
Yeah, no,
I know, 3 games left.
But my brain always goes from to translation rather than just base. But I can't cheer against Ohio State, Grant. I can't do you like that. So I'm going to cheer for Ohio State in this game. I will be honest, though. I do think Oregon's going to win, but it's not going to stop me from cheering for Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, if Oregon, they probably should win. It's like if Ohio State, it's a nice position to be in because Oregon can play their A game. And Ohio State can play their game, and Ohio State wins. So, it's not up to Oregon. It's up to me. Ohio State, they either beat themselves or they win the Natty. So, either way, I can have some solace at night.
Yeah, I mean, also, it's not like it was a blowout when you guys played earlier in the season, too. Like, it was a game
we lost by 1 point on the
road.
That is true, very true. But
the fact that
it is nice knowing
didn't get down.
After that game, I was under the impression Ohio State, they can't just win it. like other teams have to screw up. No, we're back in. We're back in. If Ohio State plays their A game, no one can beat them. The question is, can they play their A game? I would lean towards no.
That is
To do it four
questionable.
straight
Yeah,
times,
no.
probably not. But in a fairy tale land, and they do play their A
Look,
game four straight times, I don't see how anyone could beat them.
Out of the four teams, like I'm counting the as I say teams. So out of the four higher seeded teams from last week, meaning Indiana, SMU, Tennessee, Clemson, you were playing the best team out of those. Even though the seeding doesn't say it, you were playing the best team out of those.
Tennessee.
So yes.
Oh yeah, and took him out back out woodshed.
Yeah, he took him to the woodshed.
Death.
So out of that
Dolly
basis,
Parton's
I would
overrated.
be the most confident. If Ohio State was in any other part of this bracket, I would be extremely confident that they'd probably be able to win this game. But for the sole fact it's Oregon is kind of why I'm backing it up a little bit. And it's not even like
I don't, as an Ohio State fan, I want this path. I want the hardest road possible. I want Ryan Death to literally be on the path. You need to go through the gauntlet to prove you deserve to stay here, bitch. All right.
It is basically what we had to do with Dave Roberts, where Dave Roberts went through legitimately the gauntlet.
No, yeah, I mean, before the Dodgers won the World Series,
he became Gandalf the White. He went from Gandalf the Gray to Gandalf the White. Right?
Before the Dodgers won the World Series, I was like, Ryan Day and Dave Roberts are the same coach, and then Dave won the World Series. So no, but it's funny how
said
like Dave was on the verge of like people calling for his head to now he's guaranteed.
Oh no, we were already
guaranteed Hall of Fame manager.
Yeah, I mean, I will say even if Ryan Day wins the Natty, he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. But you also still have stated, I don't know if it's changed now, but you still said you can win the Natty and Ryan Day should still get fired.
That's if Ohio State's serious about their sport.
Well, you've said personally speaking, that's what
if they were serious, they would fire him. And then within the hour, Mike Vrabel announces himself as head coach. No, not just head coach, chancellor of Ohio State. Yeah, supreme overlord of Ohio State, Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, I mean,
I would give him the title. He can be.
I know you would. Yeah, you would for sure.
Shit. What's the Dune? What do they call it? What do they call
the Emperor?
The King? No, like the weird.
I think like it's just Emperor.
No. There's like the Muad'Dib or whatever the hell.
You're talking about the guy that takes the
Lisan Al Gaib. Yes, the Lisan Al Gaib of Ohio State, Mike.
Well, that's more of like
that title. He could have it. I'd give it to him. Heartbeat.
Yeah, no, I know you would. But yeah, I mean, realistically, I think whoever wins this game is going to win the national championship. That's my impression.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying, and yeah, that's going to happen. Texas provides a interesting challenge in that next round, but
yep, and then you remember Quinn Ewers as a quarterback.
Yeah, and also Texas, they're the weirdest team. They on like box score watching, if you just look at like yards and shit, you're like, how do they only have 30 points? They just put up 450 yards. They just choke when they get in the red zone. They're chokers. That's what they are. They'll beat Arizona State and take them out back, woodshed them, but against another top teams, Sark also has a bit of a problem in big moments
tendency.
So,
yeah.
But I want Notre Dame to beat Georgia just for James Franklin versus Marcus Freeman. Somebody is going to rewrite their whole narrative. Somebody will. Most likely Marcus Freeman. But my God, I'm all here for the James Franklin losing. All here for it. It'd be great.
What would you do if it was Penn State, Ohio State national championship?
Well, I'd feel amazing because
you're gonna win.
Penn State. But that would be so funny. It's just like, God, this sucks. Just general public culture, like, dude, what? This is the national? No.
This is why the immediate argument is going to be, why do we have a tournament if it's going to give us this?
It's also like, Ohio State at Oregon, lose by 1, rematch. Hey, to like the casual neutral fan, they're like, shit, I have no idea. But when Ohio State beats Penn State on the road like that and then runs it down their throat to end the game, it's like there's quite literally 0% chance Penn State could beat Ohio State neutral field this year.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Is the
0%
worst
chance.
What's the worst possible national championship matchup right now?
It would be Boise State, Arizona State.
I'm gonna counter that. I'm gonna say it's not because both of those
No,
teams are on the
no.
same. Well, let me explain.
No, the
As
worst
a
would be Notre Dame, Arizona State, because Notre Dame would win the national championship. That
but
would
I
be
was gonna say Arizona State and Boise State are like the same level of competition. So at least if they played each other in
it
the
could be
national championship,
competitive.
it'd be competitive.
Yeah, no, the worst game would actually be Arizona State, Georgia. That would be I'm so out. That would set back the sport another 15.
Probably that
Another
combined with
15 years. We'll see
NIL.
you guys
Oh
in
my god,
2040.
they would probably. Okay, well, let me put it this way: do you think Georgia would run up the score versus Arizona State worse
Yes.
than TCU? You
If
think
if
it'd be
if
worse than that game?
Georgia can get to that game through they would
Bad.
steamroll Arizona State. If they could get there, yeah.
I'm just curious if they'd win by more than they beat TCU by because it gives me TCU vibes.
Yeah, no, that is TCU.
Also, people forget TCU obviously is in the Big 12, but that season I felt like they were like the Cincinnati team from the year before. Like that's the same vibes I got from them that year.
Yeah, there's one of those every year.
True, but I mean,
Just a complete utter fraud.
true. Although Oklahoma, when they got steamrolled,
They weren't a fraud.
They weren't a fraud, but that was the 4 seed. So
Well, the early renditions of Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma, Baker, Oklahoma, those teams weren't fraud. That
I was
Oklahoma
thinking
Georgia
Jalen Hurts,
Rose Bowl
Oklahoma.
was one of the greatest Rose Bowls ever.
I was thinking Jalen Hurts, Oklahoma year.
Yeah, no, fraud.
You still okay? All right.
Kyler Murray,
fair
Oklahoma,
enough.
fraud. 2016, Ohio State, fraud. There's a lot of frauds.
You know what?
There's frauds
At least you're
everywhere.
owning up to that. Yeah, fair.
I mean, that team sucked ass. Like,
Is that JT?
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The defense was sick, but we got Deshaun Watson. I mean, shit.
You know what? That's yeah. You can't do much about that.
Deshaun Watson was great at Clemson, folks. All I gotta
People
say.
forget
All
Hunter
I gotta say about
Hunter
him.
Renfro legacy at Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, he caught the game-winning touchdown to beat Bama,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like one of the best Bama teams ever.
Yeah, who's the quarterback that year? Yeah, who's the quarterback that year?
Probably Hurts.
Oh shit! It would have still I wiped that away. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Who was right before Hurts though?
Shit.
That's
Blake
where I'm.
Sims. But there's one in between. Jake Coker. Yep. Got it. I know my Bama cues. Oh yeah.
niche trivia for you at least, not for me.
If you gave me early to mid 2010s SEC QBs, oh yeah, that's my niche.
Kentucky.
What year? Well, they're
20...
irrelevant. So
okay. All right.
All right. A real team.
A real team.
A real football team.
South Carolina.
Not a real football team. No.
Hey man. Yeah, that's SEC football. I'll give you Florida. Take Florida. I know it's not a real football team,
also
but
not a real football team.
Program wise, it is.
No, they
were
ass.
I know,
they
but
were
program
ass
wise,
post Urban. No,
program wise,
well, it's Jeff Driscoll, but yeah. Shit, I did know that.
I'm trying to think of relevant teams in the 2010s.
Give me a year too.
LSU.
Well, early on, Jordan Jefferson. Later, Zach Mettenberger.
Yeah, I forgot Zach Mettenberger was there. So bad. Do we count Mississippi State?
SEC.
Yeah. Do we count Mississippi State with Dak? But there was two. Who was the other one? They always switched off.
Well, Dak's the only like good one. The other one was
no, but it was the same one that year. Dak and him rotated. They had like a quarterback circuit or some shit.
There's no way Dak's. I don't
know. There was one. I don't know.
20,
maybe it might have
2014 Mississippi State. If there is a quarterback not named Dak Prescott who took over 100 passing attempts, I'd be stunned. I would be
I
stunned.
just remember, I don't remember which game I was
Stunned.
watching, but I was watching a game where Dak and the other quarterback were rotating snaps.
Yeah, no, that year Dak took the backup quarterback Damian Williams had 23 pass attempts.
Yeah, I
Was
don't know if that was, I might be thinking of, it might have just been that game specifically. I don't really know, but that's what I was thinking of.
Nah, but Dak to Darunya Wilson fed families, so
Oh,
that's all I got.
Jaden Daniels just threw a pick.
Yeah, both these
Great game
quarterbacks
we're having.
suck, but yeah, no, that's the college football preview. We'll wrap up real quick with an MLB update. Everett Teoscar Hernandez has re-signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers on a 3-year, $66 million deal. Probably the most team-friendly shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Teoscar, last year, he took a risk not taking his big payday contract, signing a 1 year with us. Took a risk.
Yep.
And I thought after taking that risk, well, there's no way he's going to take another risk. What? He's never going to get another contract again. I thought he was going to get 120 million from the Giants. Turns out he's turned down a
The
Giants.
Mets.
Oh,
Mets.
but Mets only offered him 2 years. But I
thought they offered him 3. Maybe it was 2.
It was 2, but it was probably 2 years, like 66 million. It's probably like the same, but like he just wanted like long term. But there's also a 4th year option, club option for 15 million for 4th year. So
Okay.
I just want to throw this out into the ether. Similar to Trey Turner, Teoscar does not profile out very well long term.
I know you've been saying that. You've been saying that all season.
So hopefully he does play well. But anyway, it's 3 years, 66. So even if he doesn't play that well, it's not a lot of money. So it's a win-win for us. Like,
I mean, look,
at least for the next year and a half, like no concerns at all.
So let me ask you
top
this
of the
question.
lineup. Good.
You know the Dodgers roster a lot better than I do. The Dodgers are now at their 40-player roster limit. Okay. If they were to come and sign,
they can move shit around quickly.
This is where I'm going with this. All right. Kershaw is currently not on the roster. Obviously, he's hurt. Sign later. Roki Sasaki, not official, but signing. Who are they moving off the roster to add those guys?
There's a random ass dudes you just
take out.
Yeah.
I'll
worry about that later. Yeah, no, that's irrelevant. Like,
my other thing I saw a post was okay.
CFA.
Somebody CFA. Was talking.
Oakland A.
True. Hey, true. Somebody.
You're a Kansas City Royal. You're a Chicago White Sox.
Somebody was talking about, though, with the way the pitching set up just for the next several years between Sheehan, River Ryan, and Bobby, should the Dodgers trade one of them?
No. Injuries, no. Keep them all. You don't trade them till like they're on their last year. You extract every value. Every single pitch of that UCL you can get, we will take, Everett. Every single pitch.
I also...
Especially while they're still throwing 100.
I know Service starts accruing
for like 2 weeks. They make like 2 starts.
Would you think about putting Bobby in the bullpen this season?
No. He's not. No, he's a starting pitcher.
I know he's a starting pitcher, but out of just curious, like for maximizing talent, just a curious question.
No, we got relievers. No, this is a waste.
Playoffs, maybe. I don't know.
Well, sure, but there's no service time playoffs, so yeah. But I mean,
well, no, it's just more of a general question.
We're probably gonna sign Tanner Scott, then trade for a killer reliever at the deadline because someone's getting hurt. So We're
Well, yeah,
we'll,
no,
we'll
I mean,
probably have seven flamethrowers come October.
at that point in the season, I mean, we're gonna need Bobby and Sheehan to pitch because Glasnow is gonna be hurt, and
Yeah, I don't know why you keep bringing up Sheehan. Sheehan's probably not going to do shit for the Dodgers this year. He's probably
I'm
going to be in
assuming
AAA all season. Just going to
I'm
throw that
assuming that
out
he's
there.
gonna go into I'm assuming that he's gonna end up going into the bullpen.
We have guys there. Like he doesn't
I
have a
know,
spot.
but still, I think that if they're gonna put
That's a name you've
somebody
been
in there,
saying
it's
a
gonna be
lot
Sheehan.
recently. He's not that good. But I'd love if he was good. But
I
right
mean,
now we
he
got
was
a
just
lot of dudes that are pretty good.
he's just one of those guys who was originally going to be on the roster at least last season, and now obviously things are
Well,
different. But
shit
because of that,
changes.
I keep bringing him up. I know, but because of that, I keep bringing him up. And before he pitches more like a bullpen guy than he does a starting pitcher, which is why I
Do you
keep
say that
bringing him
because
up
he
that way.
doesn't throw hard?
Not necessarily. He's
I
just
think
not a
he's
leverage.
much more of a starter, like Bull. Eat through your innings. He doesn't really have stuff. That's not really a reliever guy. It's also like Gonsolin. Like if Gonsolin's coming out of the bullpen, who's scared of Tony Gonsolin? No one's scared of Tony Gonsolin. That's a guy that's eating up innings, giving you 91-mile-an-hour fastballs on the corner. Uh, Sheehan doesn't quite strike fear into batters' eyes. He like throws like 94. But we got dudes who throw hard. That's the good part. And we need to get Tanner Scott because there's like maybe 8 good lefty relievers in the MLB. So if we don't sign Tanner Scott now, we're probably going to be trying to trade for him in like 3 months. So you might as well just sign him because they're like Vesia is like one of 7 reliable lefty relievers in the MLB. So
True,
you could
true.
you could pass on him. You know, it's a luxury, but it's a luxury that you could be the only team with, and no one else can get.
True.
If you had Vesia and
Uh,
Tanner Scott, those are at minimum like second and third best lefty relievers in baseball. Take them both.
yeah. I mean, we let Banda walk. Banda was right. I'm just trying to think of
Banda's a
who.
lefty, but Banda's not. But
I'm just trying to think
great
of who was in the
playoff run.
bull.
But Banda would go up against the shittiest hitters. Like Banda's not a weapon.
I'm just generally thinking of who was in the bullpen that is no longer there or who is hurt.
Last year was a
Banda,
miracle.
Banda's gone. I mean, who else? I mean, we had some guys retire, but
Last year was a miracle. Like if we expect to run it back next year, there's going to be much better names to expect to run it back comfortably. If Banda's out there again, it's like, yikes. I mean, we forget we won 4-1 and it's all nice and dandy now, but like every single start, we had no idea if the starter was going to go 2 innings or 5. We had no idea.
shout out
Zero
Brent
clue
Honeywell.
every single time.
Yeah. Um. All right. I mean, I don't know if you have anything else,
No,
but
Teoscar Hernandez though he is the he gave the best Christmas gift to Los Angeles, signing that deal. Holy shit, so cheap. 66 million over 3 years with a 15
yeah,
million
that and
club
your
option for a fourth. What?
New Year's celebration will be Roki Sasaki.
I don't think
So,
I don't think that'll have till January 15th or 16th,
but it's
but
still New Year's ish. Like welcome into the to 2025. From
yeah,
the first
yeah.
couple
No,
weeks, it's
that'll
like
be
one
fun.
percent of
So
2025 is
yeah,
done.
he's gonna sign here. That's gonna be a fun time too. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, with that, we'll wrap up here. Uh, thank you guys so much for watching. Rate us 5 stars. You can find me and Grant on Twitter at Everstakes and at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. So make sure to check us out there and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. We also post exclusive content on TikTok and on Instagram. So make sure to check us out there as well. With that, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Happy New Year's. Waterboys out.